Today's makeup design was one that was created so we could do a photo shoot. We wound up not using this design, but it was one of my favorites, so I wanted to introduce it today. It the photo shoot was actually about fairies and woodland type vibe. And so this one is actually a split face where one side is much more sun heavy and the other one was more reflective of nighttime. I hope you enjoy it. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk a little bit more about the difference in cream makeup. In in the reindeer tutorial, I use all liquid type creams. So this type of cream is a little bit thicker than your average liquid foundation. With that though comes streaking. It's great for blending and doing larger coverage points on your face, but it is not necessarily great for the littler details. However, I gave an example of what that streaking looks like on purpose because I wanted you to be able to see what that was like. When we're talking about how that streaks, the way we get rid of that and why we will oftentimes use this type of makeup is because then you can actually seal it in with powder. So if you have, in my case, I have a huge palette. If you have a black then in this instance, you would take the black powder. You would take the black powder and follow that line. Doing so seals in the line, and obviously it would be a lot cleaner than that, but it seals in the line so you don't have a bunch of little streaks happening in there. Same thing too for when you go to put like the powder on at the end, that seals in so you don't have streaks and you don't have it like blending all over your face, which is why sometimes if you're using those liquid type creams, you do need to seal it fairly fast, or you're probably going to have to go back and do some touch-up work. Next, I'm going to use a Halloween palette, for example. You have more of a cake now. This is like a pancake type cream, and so this is much, much thicker now. And if you're not careful, it can streak or it can get chunky, so you want to make sure that you're, again, blending it appropriately. But this is usually a little bit easier and more typical for show makeup to be able to work and set colors and things like that. Last but not least, you also have like crayons, like face crayons. This I would have to say is like the thickest of them all. Sometimes you'll find them that are kind of smoother in consistency, but these can often get really thick, in which case you have to apply a bit more pressure and there's a lot more involvement trying to make them blend. Today's video is actually going to entail all three of those mixes. And it's because of what each of them will do for our face. We use the liquid to white our face out. Reason you're seeing me use so much white is because no matter what skin complexion you have, whites make color pop. We use that a lot in theater, so that way when the stage lights hit us, you can see the colors on our faces a lot easier. As I've demonstrated before, some makeup does call for more of your natural skin tones, but not all stage makeup is like that. So like I said, this week we're kind of doing a lot more of the heavy duty work in makeup world. Also today, we are going to be doing our eyelashes, and we are doing extra applications to our face. I've changed up some of our makeup over the years, where sometimes we had rhinestones, other times we have like little decals, and in this case we actually are applying sequins. So that good old tub of eyelash glue is going to come in a lot of handy today. In this example, the eyelashes are actually best and easiest applied first. From there, we build the rest of our face. So I'm actually going to do that first here so you can also see what it looks like on a clean slate. As I mentioned previously, I like to be able to drop the glue on me first, so I put that on my hand. I take the eyelash and I dip the end in. And you want to get a pretty good layer on there because we really want that to stick. So it's nice and coated. Always have tweezers on hand because this will help get the eyelash to stick. Now, you want to let the eyelash glue kind of get a little tacky here instead of just putting it on soaking wet. And I also like to make sure that there is extra glue on each of the corners because we do not want those peeling up on us. You want that eyelash to be nice and snug to your natural lash line. Now right now, because they are not curled together, you see a difference between the two lines. Same thing on the other side. As you can see, I start on the outside and work my way in. This is not always the case, as I've said before. Sometimes you do need to have more lashes on the inner part of your eye, but in this case, we really want to amplify pulling the lashes up and out. Once the eyelash adhesive is dry, it should be clear, and the imperfections will go away when we add in the eyeliner and everything. And your eyelashes blend up when we go to curl them and add our mascara. We'll come back to that later on though. This example also entails gluing down our eyebrows. Now that everything should be dry, we're going to take care of the rest of those eyelashes. So we're going to crimp them together and we're going to add our mascara. Now we got the rest of our face.